The Live with Brandon Blakely podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakely, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger for y'all, my friends. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. Man, what a day of women's college hoops we've had today, man. Of course, the 71 game home win streak destroyed, dismantled, and stomped out by Uconn. Holy AZ Fud. My goodness. 28 strong ones. And she definitely is the player of the day, making an impact, and I think definitely upping her draft stock. What does the loss actually mean for South Carolina, though? Like, could they possibly be in trouble? Coach Staley said it herself. They've seen all their records broken this season already. And she's just feeling bad about the fans, apologizing to the fans, man. South Carolina fans have not seen this team lose 3 games, and I don't know when. They are absolutely crashing out.
We gotta play better. We gotta perform better. I feel really bad for our fans. I mean, they packed the house. They did their part, and we just really had an embarrassing performance. And we got to get things back on track. I mean, I think we have probably all of our streaks have been broken this particular year. But it was a hell of a ride. I mean, to win 71 straight, is it 71? 70? 71 straight here. We got a chance to start a new streak on Thursday, and we got to get back at it.
Ain't nothing wrong with going to church.
Since we're on a
Another one.
higher education campus, F, 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 F. You know, I mean, it's, this season's a long season, right? You play a team like UConn, like now, you win. It may have some ill effect to the next game. You lose, and it definitely will wake you up. So hopefully, it will be the latter, and we can get back going against Arkansas on Thursday.
Ain't nothing.
Look, the South Carolina fans, like she said, they did their big one. They showed up, they packed that house, the Colonial Life Arena, every night, and they were severely disappointed. South Carolina fans are absolutely crashing out all over the internet. It's nuts right now because they are in an unfamiliar place. When you have been so spoiled with winning and all you know is championships and dominance, when that starts to kind of fizzle away and there's some chinks in the armor and teams aren't scared of you no more, things start to get real in the field. I know in the past there's been a Leah Boston there. There's been Asia Wilson. There's been Camila Cardosa. That is not the case this year. They've had to find different ways to play. Now, arguably so, I don't want to completely overact and act like the sky is falling, but bro, the sky might be falling just a little bit, man. Like, honestly, South Carolina, I want to pose the question, are they in trouble? We've seen this team struggle offensively. They haven't been a great three-point shooting team. When they're not dominating the glass and getting on the boards and getting those second chance opportunities, the offense is lacking. When you limit them in transition, the offense is lacking. Like, they still, for the entire season, we've seen the same problems. Turnovers and a lack of an offensive identity. Now, shout out to Joyce Edwards, because she absolutely came out and hooped today with 17 points. And her, Malaysian Fool Wiley, Tina Powell really were the only ones that showed up. So I gotta salute Joyce Edwards, but seriously, man, it's feeling like this team could be in some trouble. Lack of offensive identity, lack of perimeter scoring at times. Like, there's so much depth, but what player, who's gonna be the go-to player? Who is going to be the one to step up? They got embarrassed. They got embarrassed today, straight up. No ifs, ands, buts about it. They got embarrassed. This was a bone-chilling loss, shaking, like getting blown out by almost 30 at home. This is the second largest home deficit defeat in Don Staley's tenure. This was so uncharacteristic for this team. I mean, getting dominated on the glass, getting out hustled, missing open shots, not getting back on defense. Like, UConn definitely deserves all the credit and executed a great game plan, but the way this team has been coming off, like in the losses, they've all looked the same. UCLA, outplayed, out-toughed, dominant performance from a big. Texas, Oldacre, tougher, won the glass battle, dominated physically, made shots, got out in transition, put pressure on ice in isolation. South Carolina has been good as a team defending. In ISO situations, teams have had success against them. Teams are not scared of just that Carolina on the jersey anymore. Like the talent, if this game taught us anything, is that the talent is very equal in the NCAA this year, and anybody can get got on any given night, no matter whatsoever. Period, man. South Carolina has been so dominant for so long, like we saw Uconn back in the day. Is this the end of the dynasty that we're seeing? I don't know. I think it's a little too soon to get into that, but I do feel bad for these fans that showed up, packed the house, gave their all cheering for this team, and this team came out flat. F for effort, F for execution, lost the turnover battle, got bullied, didn't come out with any type of intensity. Other than Malaysia Fool Wiley and Joyce Edwards, Tina Pow Pow, everybody else might as well have just stayed on the bus. This is not a good sign right now for South Carolina, man. It would be different if it was like an effort thing or if it was just an off shooting day or something like that. But this is like you got outclassed. You got blown out by almost 30. 30 on your own home court, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, South Carolina could definitely be in some trouble, man. I think throughout the SEC, like, they got one tough game left against Kentucky. But this was a game that pretty much majority of the nation, even probably Uconn fans more so, expected them to not win this game. But to blow them out by dang near 30? If I'm South Carolina, I'm a bit worried right now. I'm a bit worried about the execution. I'm a bit worried about the lack of production. Like Chloe Kitts, Tessa Johnson, some of your biggest stars from last year are not showing up. Breezy Hall has taken a step back. Raven Johnson was not a factor. Like, if I'm I'm kind of getting worried if I'm South Carolina, man. I'm not gonna lie, like they're not getting that same production. Joyce Edwards has been the focal point of this team, and she's a freshman. Like Sanaya Fagan, non-existent in this contest. Like there were a lot of players that played a lot of minutes that brought absolutely nothing to the table. And I don't understand, man. Chloe Kitts started off the season so strong, so hot. She's been called out for not being aggressive and shooting the basketball enough. And she completely disappeared today, got bullied in the paint. Like, they had no answer for Sarah Strong. Dana Alfie was getting busy. They had 6'1" Aubrey Griffin in the paint. They had KK Arnold in the paint, banging down low, getting rebounds. Like, it was an effort. Dawn Staley has to figure out a way to get her team to get back to playing hard, getting back to playing with that same intensity. Now, they have looked good coming out of losses, but they're starting to add up kind of frequently now, it seems like, man. Like, these losses are coming back to back to back, it feels like. Now, it's only 3 losses, but it feels insane because South Carolina don't lose more than 3 games. They don't lose games in the regular season for the most part. But to lose 3 and to get blown out by 30, basically, on your home court, I would be worried. This is a serious issue. You got punched in the mouth, and your team showed no fight, no resiliency. Like, this was a flat, lackluster performance. And it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable for a team that everybody felt like was overrated. UConn came with their A game today, man. And for South Carolina, they got to lick their wounds. They got Arkansas. They got to move on. But for a team that has been as dominant as they have, there's no clear-cut favorite. UCLA lost too. Like, there's no clear-cut favorite for the national championship right now. But if I'm South Carolina, I'm definitely a little bit worried. The fans are getting anxious. Like, losing is just not something that they're going to tolerate. But getting embarrassed on national TV by 30 at home is damn near unforgivable, bro. Like, y'all heard it. Every record pretty much they've had up until this point has been broken. Teams are giving South Carolina their best shots. Teams are figuring out South Carolina's weaknesses, and they're exploiting them. The missed shots opportunities. Not being able to really score a whole lot consistently from the perimeter. Getting beat on the glass. Not getting back in transition. Like, overcommitting. getting killed off dribble handoffs. If you can make threes and rebound, you got a chance against South Carolina. If you got guards that can make plays off the dribble, penetrate, and get to the cup, you got a chance against South Carolina, man. Like, we've seen the recipe to beat South Carolina 3 times this year. And it seems like all 3 teams, for the most part, did just about the same thing. Especially Texas, especially UCLA. Like, there's a lot of bigs on this roster. And Joyce Edwards definitely has the most upside. And she came to play today with 17 points. Respect to her. She came to play today when nobody else did. For the most part. Malaysia Fulwiley came out and played hard as well, too. Sanaya Fagan, though, like, you're seeing these big Sanaya Fagan and Chloe Kitts in particular, man. Like, it's been a really up and down season for these two veterans that have been around this program that know the South Carolina standard. We did not see the South Carolina standard today at all. And you can see it on Don Staley's face. Like, she knew this game was over in the fourth quarter. We saw her, her and Chloe Kitts kind of bumping heads a little bit a couple of games ago. And Chloe Kitts wasn't even looking at Don Staley. Like, are there too many chefs in the kitchen for this team? Are there too many chefs and not enough role players that are really contributing? I mean, Tezzy Johnson has been in a slump, and she was so big for them last year. Chloe Kitts was supposed to be the alpha of this team. This was supposed to be her team. Are they missing Ashlyn Watkins? The loss of Ashlyn Watkins, I think, impacted this team a lot more than they realized at the time. Because we saw these names. Like, Miriam Dowda has been a non-factor. It's a new program for her. I'm not saying she needs to transfer right now, but it may be something to consider because she has not brought anything to the table whatsoever. But you look at, the shooting, the shots were not falling. They were getting open shots, but they were not falling. If you pack that paint and keep South Carolina off the glass, they have struggled. If you turn South Carolina into a jump shooting team, they have struggled. And then just guarding. Like, AZ Fudd and Paige Beckers were getting everything they wanted in the paint. AZ Fudd was incredible. Ball switches. Caitlin Chen was good. Like, South Carolina, this is unfamiliar territory for them. Like, getting beat on your home floor by 30, basically, is insane. This was embarrassing. This was a catastrophe of sorts. Like, this was more than humbling. This was a good old belt to bottom butt whooping. South Carolina got embarrassed. Embarrassed. If I'm getting beat by 30 basically on my home court, I'm going to the gym right after. Like, we might have had to have a practice right after. Like, this is just... This could be trouble. Like, South Carolina, there are a lot of good teams. You think about LSU, who dropped a tough win to Texas today. But Texas, who just beat South Carolina. UCLA, USC, Notre Dame seems like they could be the number one team in the country, to be honest with you, man. I'm putting my bets on Notre Dame. But to get beat on your home floor, scrape, drag, dominated, dogged. This reminded you of the old days when Don Staley first got to South Carolina and Uconn was handing out butt whoopings. But this is not a good look for South Carolina, man. I feel bad for the fans. They got one of the most passionate fan bases in the country, man. You can't say nothing about South Carolina. I've seen it firsthand. They are crashing out. They don't know what to do right now. This is unfamiliar territory. Majority, like all the players on this roster, they've never lost 3 games in the season before. Ever at South Carolina. So this is absolutely insane, man. And Coach Don Staley got to regroup. They got to find their identity. They got to get back to playing defense and, move forward and put this loss behind them. But there definitely could be some trouble in South Carolina, man. This is not what you wanted to see. Like, just a lack of effort, lack of intensity, lack of execution. You keep them off the free throw line where a lot of their points are coming. Turn them into a 3-point shooting team. Limit those offensive rebounds and second chance points. Push it in transition. Keep them on their heels. And you kind of got South Carolina figured out, man. Not going to lie to y'all, bro. I'm not going to lie to y'all. This is not a traditional South Carolina team. There's no Aaliyah Boston. There's no Asia Wilson. There's no Camila Cardoso to save them, who they definitely could have used against Old Acre. There's no Ashlyn Watkins as well. Like maybe too many chefs in the kitchen right now. But we'll see. We'll see if they rebound for sure. Speaking of just rebounds, y'all know that's what Anissa Morrow does. But how about LSU, man? Dropping a very winnable game to Texas. LSU and South Carolina lost. When have we seen LSU and South Carolina lose on the same day? It's been a while, man. But their title hopes for the SEC regular season pretty much are dead now. Looking at it, I mean, they're not completely out of the race, but it's not looking likely. I'm not gonna say dead, but their SEC title hopes took a major hit, man. Took a very major hit. Looking at the stats, LSU did enough to win this game. They just blew. They did not keep their foot on the pedal and let Texas crawl up back in this game, man. Both teams shot horrendous. It was a 65-58 ball game. Texas hit 32.8% from the field. LSU 33.3% from the field. The 3-point shooting hurt them. Texas can't shoot a three anyway. They're very one-dimensional from that aspect. But LSU 3 of 12 from three. They left a lot of free throws at the free throw line. They left 6 points at the free throw line, which was a difference. They win the battle on the glass still, 47-44. We saw their assists take a big hit, though. This is a team that's usually around 20 assists, only 7 assists, and 17 turnovers. 17 turnovers for LSU compared to 15. They also committed 22 personal fouls. When LSU had struggled throughout the beginning of the season with steady point guard play and controlling the tempo as far as controlling turnovers and being not so careless with the basketball. You have a very winnable matchup against Texas where you really dominated, man. Flau'jae Johnson was a game-time decision for this game, battling a foot injury. Came in like the big three. That's they're gonna live and die by this big three. And when they're on, it helps. But when nobody else scores over 5 points, like bro, look at this, man. LSU got a problem. Seriously. Flau'jae Johnson, 16 points, 4 rebounds. Anissa Morrow leaving her blood, sweat, and tears out on the court. 15 points, 2 assists, 20 rebounds. Michaela Williams, 18 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Samaya Smith gave them some good minutes tonight, playing good defense, had some blocks, also grabbed 10 rebounds. Like, she's been playing better, and I got to salute her for that. Cheyenne Day-Wilson, non-factor. Last Poa led the team with 3 assists. Didn't really do much down the stretch, though. Didn't really do much defensively down the stretch. Like, she's been getting cooked a bit out there. And then she's not bringing anything for offensively. Miracle Shepherd, no play. Caitlin Gilbert, 3 points in this contest. Jersey Wolfenbarger, nothing. Like, all these transfers that we're seeing come in for LSU, and it's the inconsistency. Caitlin Gilbert has been an electrifying scorer, but if she's not giving you anything, is Jersey Wolfenbarger not giving you anything, like Del Rosario hasn't given you anything, it's a lot of players on LSU that are getting a free ride right now. And, I mean, it's crazy to me. There's no, like, bro, their lack of a point guard is killing them. They've tried Cheyenne Day-Wilson, turnover machine. It seems like they tried to turn it back over to last year Poa, who's, been injured, who was suspended, who was suing the NCAA, suing the United States government. Like, it's been a whole hectic year for last year Poa. But the point guard play, man, you got 3 players that are elite scorers that can get a bucket anytime they want, that are great in isolation. But we're seeing that is not enough. Like, when the rest of your, like, bro, you got total 58 points, and you're getting what, 3, 6, 8, 9 points. This LSU scored 9 points as a team without their big three. 9 points as a team, bro, without their big three. This is a sham. Like, LSU has continued to struggle with bench production. Some games they do get it, and there is potential here. And the SEC title regular season isn't the end all be all. But bro, when you're getting 9 points from your team compared to the rest of them from 3 players, like, this is trouble. They've been struggling to have a consistent big all year. It's been Anissa Morrow, Promising effort from Samaya Smith. You love to see it. But point guard play. You bring in Miracle Shepard. You bring in Caitlin Gilbert. You bring in Shia Day Wilson. Turnover machine. Like, you bring in all these guards, and not one of them has been a lead guard for this team so far, man. Like, the big three's playing so many minutes, they're getting worn down. Like I said, Flau'jae Johnson was a game time decision. She's out there playing her heart out. Michaela Williams hitting big shots. But they need some help. Not UCLA, LSU needs some help desperately from this supporting cast. Desperately from this supporting cast. Like, how do y'all can't combine for 10 points? Y'all can't give them 15? Like, this loss is on the supporting cast. It's on the whole team. But Coach Kim Mulkey gotta get more out of this supporting cast. You recruited these players. You brought these players in thinking that they can contribute. There's a whole lot of players for LSU getting a free ride right now. On the backs of Anissa Moro, who's been incredible, leading the country in rebounding at 6'1". It's like Flau'jae Johnson out there getting ran into the ground. Improved her three-point shooting, has improved her scoring, has improved her assists. But she is not the facilitator. Like, not having a point guard is killing you. Killing LSU. I got so many teams on my mind, y'all. I'm sorry. Killing LSU. Hakeem welcome in. LSU lack of a PG. Play hurt too. Too many turnovers in Texas. Was 21 for 21 from the free throw line. Yes. Yes, when you're fouling and you're turning the basketball over, you're not getting any production from your supporting cast. It's a recipe for a loss. Del Rosario has completely, like, I don't know if I've seen a top 10 player with a more irrelevant career for one team in women's college hoops, man. At 6'6", big, physical, specimen. Like Simona Gustin said, she had Del Rosario in the gym all year. They were expecting her to be a breakout performer. And Del Rosario has been getting a free ride the entire season. She is terrible. Terrible. Caitlin Gilbert, upside, but the inconsistency. Jersey Wolfenbarger, upside, but the inconsistency. And these aren't like super young players. These are players that have had success at colleges elsewhere. What is going on with Miracle Shepard? Like, last year Pola regressed. Bartlett, non-factor. Like, there's so many names on this list. Like, it really might be time for Del Rosario to pull the plug and go look elsewhere to play. They got a great freshman class coming in. A lot of these role players on LSU will be getting replaced next season, for sure. Without a doubt. The cavalry is coming. Don't worry about you Bengal fans. Like, the reinforcements are on the way. But you got 3 players that you're completely banking on. Granted, 3 of the best players in the country. Hands down, without a doubt. But you're offering no assistance to this team. Like, the supporting cast was so bad today, man. They were so bad. And it's crazy because they did a good job on Madison Booker. She was like 0 for 11 in the first half. LSU was up double digits. Like, how can you not get anything from your supporting cast? How can you be turning the ball over carelessly? Flau'jae had a late careless turnover. Like, just tossed it into the paint. So gave it to Texas. Like, the lack of execution. Kim Mulkey got out coached. She should have been using them timeouts, making adjustments. They got to find a way to motivate and put the supporting cast into a position to succeed because we have not seen it. We've not seen it at all, man. It's been the big 3 carrying LSU all year long. These ladies playing dang near 40 points a game. Like, it's a damn shame. It is a damn shame. They got this awesome big 3 that are putting in work. And then come on, man. And this is Coach Kim Mulkey's fault for not bringing in adequate depth, for not bringing in players that are ready to contribute. This was a very winnable game for LSU, and they let it slip away. Pharaoh, welcome in, welcome in. Do you think SC can turn around their season and win the national title? I think the national title's up for grabs right now. I think this is the most wide open we've seen women's college hoops in like a decade, man. There's no dominant team. South Carolina has as good a chance to win the title as anybody. But if they did end up losing in the Sweet 16, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm just saying, man. But you got Texas, LSU, Notre Dame, UCLA, USC. Like there are a lot of title contenders right now. I think legitimately. I think there's like 5 teams that could legitimately win the national title. South Carolina is definitely one of them. They got to find an offensive identity. They got to be able to make shots. They got to be able to limit turnovers. They got to be able to limit transition points. They got to guard the 3-point shot better too, man. That's my takeaway there. But man, LSU and South Carolina fall. And Texas, man, they continue to prove that they're for real. Texas is for real. This is a legitimate national title team. Texas may be the best team in the SEC, man. Like they're Madison Booker, 16 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds, well-rounded effort, can't keep her off the glass. The emergence, I cannot speak enough of. Taylor Jones and Oldacre have been incredible. Oldacre only had 4 points this game, but 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and she had a big bucket late to kind of put this game away. Preston, the youngster, 7 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, played some great minutes for Texas off the bench, played some great defense on Flau'jae Johnson, making things tough. I love Wyndon Tonda as well. Another long, athletic wing forward, hybrid forward that can score the basketball, that can take it off the dribble, that can cause some problems with her size and her athletic ability. I do think Rory Harmon, man, her shooting ability kind of limits them. But she had 10 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. That's what it looks like when you have point guard play. You saw how Rory Harmon weathered the storm, got offense initiated for Texas, controlled the tempo for this team. Reese, when things got static and got kind of chaotic late in the shot clock, she was there to organize. She's the coach on the floor for them. She's the floor general. And that was the difference between Texas and LSU. Texas had an adequate point guard that could control the basketball, that limited turnovers, that set up offense, that ran offense, that got other people involved. Like, Texas right now is the team to beat in the SEC, without a doubt, in my opinion. And what's crazy is they can't shoot the 3 at all. They can't shoot the 3 at all, and it don't matter, man. The mid-range of Madison Booker, the emergence of the freshman Jordan Lee, who was really good in this contest, too. Taylor Jones, 12 points, 8 assists. She's been really good. Carlton has been good. Another linking defender for them that can run the floor really well. Like, Texas has a lot of long, athletic forwards that really get up and down the court. 5 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds, just making things tough, man. I like the way Rory Harmon is controlling the tempo for this team, though. She's coming off a ACL injury and has been back in her bag. Like, her shooting, I think, limits this team and their inability to shoot the 3 where Layla Filia will come in handy. A spread in the floor, shooting the 3. They are going to have to make some threes to win the national championship. But, I mean, they dang near. I mean, they shot just as good from LSU as LSU from 3 this game. So it was enough. They knocked in 3 threes this game, so it was enough. Texas is the team to beat, though, man. Vic Schaefer's group is tough. They're physical. They got veterans. They got a good mix of youth. They got length. They defend. They get up and down the floor. They're limited transition. They're crashing the glass hard. Like, Texas is definitely the team to beat, I think, in the SEC right now. Texas has proven that they're the team to beat. They just beat South Carolina and LSU back to back, like, days apart, basically. Texas is absolutely the team to beat in the SEC. The newcomer, too, in year one. In year one, man, but Madison Booker is sensational, man. She's sensational. Even on games where she has bad shooting nights, you see her grabbing double-digit rebounds. You see her running the point forward. Like, they have multiple playmakers on this Texas team. It's not just Rory Harmon, but they share the basketball. They execute. They finish strong. And they never gave up in this contest being down double digits. Yeah, Jada Rashard definitely could have helped LSU in this contest. They need to give Jada Rashard more minutes. Honestly, man, that could be the answer to their point guard troubles if they would just trust her more, man. Like Jada Rashard could be the answer at point guard. She can shoot the basketball really well. She's shown that she can create for others. She's been in big games already, played valuable minutes. She defends pretty well. Like Jada Rashard definitely could be the answer at point guard. I mean, you got nothing to lose at this point. Miracle Shepherd not really giving you much. Last Hair Pola been off all season. Cheyenne Day Wilson turnover machine. Kaylin Gilbert more of a scorer, to be honest with you, than a playmaker. Like Jada Rashard, you insert her into this LSU lineup, maybe it balances things out. You know, she's shown that she's a lethal 3-point shooter. Give her a chance to really run this team. Because you got to take some pressure off of Flau'jae and Michaela Williams. They can't be the ones bringing the basketball up the court and playing straight ISO every game. But looking at it, I mean, Tennessee got a big win today. Kentucky got a big win today. Like, the SEC feel like it's wide open right now, man. Seriously. But Texas is at the head of it all. Texas is absolutely at the head of the SEC right now. Yes, the SEC is a bloodbath. Whoever comes out of this conference is definitely going to be battle tested. That's for sure. But it's got to be Texas right now as the favorite. It's definitely got to be Texas. It's them, and then you look at it, man. And honestly, they have a very favorable schedule as well. They got Texas got Georgia, Mississippi State, and Florida the last 3 games. They're not losing none of them games. They are not losing any of those games. Like they've made it through the gauntlet of their season. South Carolina still got to play Texas, or still got to play Kentucky as well, which is a game to watch. And Notre Dame beat Texas in OT earlier this year, 80-70. Whoever mentioned that, Notre Dame beat Texas earlier this year. But Texas, very, very favorable schedule to end out SEC play, man. Like, I definitely, it seems like they're going to be the ones to take the title. That Kentucky and South Carolina game will mean everything for sure, but it's a gauntlet. And don't sleep on Oklahoma making some noise in the SEC tournament as well. Yeah, they definitely dog you on defense. I mean, if Last Pola ain't getting it done, if Cheyenne Day Wilson isn't getting it done, you might want to go ahead and give you might want to go ahead and give the keys to Jada Rashard, man. Let the freshman rock out. I hate this. Kathy, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody, guys. If this is your first time, welcome into the Live with Brandon Blakey podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakey, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share if it's your first time, and join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whatever you need. And yeah, speaking of Uconn, because I saw somebody bring up Uconn, Gino had some high praise for that South Carolina
Coming
crowd.
down here is really, really, really hard, and it didn't used to be a long time ago. And I think they've made it really special and really hard to play here, and the crowd supports the program. They're fantastic. I think even the crowd is better. I remember the very first time we came down here, they had no idea how to behave. They had never seen anything like this, act like this. And so everything. There's a knowledgeable fan base, and it's fun to play in this environment. And I just wanted to say congrats to school and the community. It'd be great if this happened in more places, but it's a testament to all the people down here and Dawn and her staff and what they've built. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. So congratulations to everybody down here.
Excuse me, miss. What makes you confident?
This was the AZ Flood game. This was absolutely the AZ Flood game. Now, I've ragged on UConn for playing in that abysmal conference in the Big East. They've lost some big games this year, specifically Notre Dame, USC as well. Like, they've lost some big games. I mentioned Tennessee, I should say. They've lost some big games, but they came out and delivered an exceptional performance. They shot the lights out. They moved the basketball. They got others involved. Like I told y'all from the beginning. I thought that AZ Foot was going to be the difference in this game. She was coming off 34 against St. John's. Really found her confidence. Really found her just her that cerebral attack, that shooting touch that we know she has, and she lit South Carolina up. She lit South Carolina up. I mean, 3-point shots falling everywhere, moving off ball, getting it off the dribble, attacking the cup. AZ Fudd definitely showed that she is one of the most talented guards in the country, hands down, without a doubt. I just loved her approach. She just came in confident from the jump. She wanted to take every big shot, and I mean, these guards, Raven Johnson, Malaysia Fulwale, Breezy Hall, who spent most of the time on Paige Beckers, but these guards had no answer for AZ Fudd whatsoever, man. Like, she came out and shot the lights out, and I just got to give her nothing but respect. And I don't know if any one player has helped their draft stock in the WNBA more than AZ Bud. Now, I don't know if she will go. She still has the opportunity to come back as well if she decides to. But I think she's a top 3 pick. Without a doubt. She is absolutely a top 3 pick. Like, hands down, man. If you're looking for a shooter, if you're looking for someone to space the floor that can be streaky, that can give you instant offense, that will defend, high IQ, unselfish, competitor, great addition to the locker room, has overcome a lot of adversity with the injuries, with losing her confidence, going to a sports psychiatrist, and, just really finding herself, finding her stride again, man. Like, AZ Flood was lights out, and I felt like she would be one of, the difference maker, man. If Paige Beckers does go number 1, Olivia Miles goes number 2, I think they should get AZ Fudd at that number 3 pick, man. I don't know if any other player has upped their draft stock more than her, but coming off of the last 3 games, man, she's averaging almost 24 points a game. Like, she has been incredible. She's found her stride. She's healthy. I think that she just is really feeling it. She's in that zone to where nobody on the floor can guard her. The shot is falling. She's getting to the cup, finishing at the rim, putting pressure on these guards and these bigs. Like, she was the difference maker in this game, and I just don't think that there are 4 or 5 better picks than her in the WNBA draft. If you're the Chicago Sky, you got the bigs. You got Angel Reese, you got Camila Cardoso. Get them a shooter in there that can spread the floor and open things up. You don't have Kennedy Carter anymore, which they still should go back and get her, but you're not sure who your point guard is going to be. AZ Fudd can come in and play the 1 or the 2. I think the Chicago Sky will be a perfect fit for her, culture-wise, defensively. She's got a big following as well. She'll be there socially. She could definitely change the trajectory of the Chicago Sky lineup with her 3-point shooting. I don't think that we've seen a player up her draft stock as quickly as AZ Flood. She was easily a top 5 pick. We talking top 3 now. We definitely talking top 3 now. But yeah, great game. Uconn, ESPN actually has Uconn as the title favorites now after that contest, man. I think it was a great game for Caitlin Chin, who, scored double figures for the first time since I don't know when out of conference play. Like, she shot the ball well, spread the floor, played good defense. They moved it really well in transition. The dribble handoffs, they had South Carolina on their heels the entire game. Jana L. Alfie gave them some big minutes. So I see the potential. This is like the real Uconn. This is how we expected them to look. When we saw this roster on paper with all this talent coming back, this is how we expected Uconn to look. And the real Uconn showed up today, man. KK Arnold, Ashlyn Shade came in and made some big shots. Sarah Strong was incredible with a double-double, threw out multiple assists, fought through foul trouble, runs the floor well. UConn definitely showed a lot tonight, or today, I should say, for sure. How about ACC action, man? We know Notre Dame is dominating. How about North Carolina getting better without Deja Kelly, though? That is crazy. They knock off top 10 ranked NC State in the rival battle. North Carolina, I think they're a team. Like, when we talk about TCU, when we talk about Ohio State, When we talk about teams from the outside looking in, a Kansas State potentially that could really disrupt some things in the whole grand scheme of the national title race in the NCAA tournament, North Carolina is definitely one of those teams, in my opinion, that can do some damage. They got a veteran group. They got players that can make shots, like Gak Dang, 10 points, 8 rebounds coming back. Brenda Kelly has been incredible. Deja left, but it's a new Kelly in town. 23 points for her. Bernarski's been really good addition for them at 10 points. Busby didn't really even have to do much, and they still got really good production from the rest of this group. So I do think North Carolina is going to be a dangerous team to watch. It could potentially challenge Notre Dame for that ACC title as well come tournament time. But that was another game I saw. And then shout out Tennessee beating a very scrappy Ole Miss team. You know, Coach Yo is always going to have her team ready to play. They're physical, they're scrappy, and they compete to the last whistle. No possessions taken off. I got to shout out Jules Spear, who had 28 points today, man. Like AC Fudd, those two were the two stars of Sunday, in my opinion, and led their teams to victory. Tennessee picks up another win, 80-71. And shout out Coach Kim Caldwell in year one, just absolutely making some noise. They got a really good recruiting class coming in next year. But you got Spear, you got Spencer. I love Hollingshead as well. Talasia Cooper has been really good for them. Spearman, the versatile forward, has been pretty good for them. Like Tennessee definitely could make some noise in the NCAA tournament too, and the SEC tournament for that matter. They gave LSU dang near all they can handle. They pushed South Carolina to the limit as well. So salute to Tennessee, man. Their coach had a baby, man. Came back and coached like a week later, bro. But let me catch up with some comments, man. I had just wanted to get through with my breakdown. Now let me get to some comments. Let me get to some comments. Let's move out. Let's see what we got. Oh, Big Ten and SEC really got all the top tier schools from Big 12 and Pac 12. Yeah, and they gonna give. I mean, no disrespect, Stanford will be back. Great addition to the ACC. Cal's been pretty good too, but man, you ain't lying, bro. To me, it looks like LSU's mistakes are fixables. Yeah, take care of the basketball. Maybe insert Peter Richard at point guard. Uconn will win the national championship this year. It's crazy how one game just changes the trajectory of a whole season, bro. We went from talking about Uconn being a Sweet 16 team at best to being national champions, bro. That's what dubbing the defending champions on their home court, snapping a 71 game win streak does, though. South Carolina has weakened the paint against elite teams, and their lack of perimeter scoring is not helping. Teams are definitely packing the paint. Teams are definitely packing the paint. Teams are definitely packing the paint against them. I think Notre Dame, UConn, Texas, USC, UCLA, SC, LSU can all win this year. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I think, man, that injury to Ashlyn Watkins hurt them a lot more than people realize. LSU's lack of size in the post worked against them. When you play small ball against an elite team with bigs, you have to be on fire from the perimeter. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, they've made small ball work, and it's worked on the rebounding effort of things, but it has not worked in limiting paint points. Yeah, they definitely need to get more size. Like the paint production, like they've been getting buckets down low from Elisa Moro. They've gotten rebound. They win the rebounding battle most nights. But as far as defending the paint and keeping teams and bigs from eating them up down low down there in the paint, getting active, that is definitely something that they've struggled with so far. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Yeah, I agree, Robert. I agree. That Tennessee game definitely helped them. And I think it just upped their intensity and their level of play as a team. Gamecocks next season need size and 3-point shooters. They also need dogs who can get them a bucket when they're in trouble. Yeah, that's what we see from LSU. That's what we see from LSU, bro. They got 3 players that can get them a bucket. Joyce Edwards is absolutely a bucket, but she's not ready to just, hey, it's 10 seconds left in the game. Throw me the ball and watch what I do with it. She's not there yet. Like, there's no go-to scorers. That's what I keep saying. There's too many chefs in the kitchen with South Carolina. Who is going to get you a bucket, though, when you absolutely need it? Who is going to be the one for South Carolina when you need a bucket and you can just go to them? It really should be Malaysia for Wiley, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, seeing USC go on the road to play Rutgers will never seem right for a conference game. Chris, welcome in, my guy. Chicago Cheetah. I also believe that USC will win the Big Ten. That's a safe bet. Like, Malaysia for Wiley is the one that is a bucket getter for this team. Like, when you need a closer, when you need a go-to scorer, like, Malaysia for Wiley has all the capability. You can't guard her one-on-one. She gets to the cup. She can shoot the three. You saw how she made an immediate impact in this game off the bench. She's out there blocking shots, pushing it in transition, like one of the most electrifying scorers in the country. And Dawn absolutely has a leash on her. It might be time to take the leash off Malaysia for Wiley. We've seen, the turnovers, the bad shot selection. She's still developing. No, it's enough. It's enough. She's shown up enough in big games to where you need to put the ball in her hands and not wait till you're down 20 to put her in and let her get active, man. Like, she really, really needs to just. And I'm not trying to tell Dawn Staley how to coach or anything like that. Like, she's definitely got the resume, but I think having these shackles on Malaysia for Wiley's game has hurt the development and the trajectory of this team. Like, when you need a go-to scorer, Malaysia Full Wiley is the one that needs to have the ball in her hand. She needs to be one closing games out. She should have been given more leeway in this game to really operate. Like, she is your go-to scorer. She is the one that can get a bucket when you absolutely need one. Fearless, who isn't afraid to go out there and get a bucket or attack the defense. She ain't giving the ball up. She's going full head steam with it. And I think moving forward, if they do want to win a national championship, Malaysia Full Wiley's got to be set free. You got to let her rock out. You gotta let Malaysia Full Wiley rock out. If you want to see the peak of this team, if you want to see the perimeter scoring increase, you gotta let Malaysia Full Wiley be Malaysia Full Wiley. And I think Dawn Staley is kind of holding her back. Malaysia Full Wiley is definitely one of the best players in the country that doesn't have many weaknesses to her game. She defends, blocks shots, like great on ball defender, get steals, can score from anywhere on the floor, open things up, man. When Malaysia Full Wiley, she commands so much attention that it opens so much up for the rest of the team, man. Like, whenever she touches the ball, it's already 3 defenders looking to see what she's gonna do. She puts like automatic pressure on opposing defenses, man. Like, you gotta let Malaysia Full Wiley rock out and stop holding her back. Stop holding her back. You have a 20-point per game scorer on your team. Like, Joyce Edwards and Malaysia Full Wiley need to be. And I feel like Joyce Edwards has had more leeway. She's had more leash than Malaysia Full Wiley so far. Yeah, I get Malaysia Full Wiley is a bit flashy at times, can be a little out of control, but the upside, the positives, way outweigh the negatives, man. Don Staley, that starting five, man, I don't think, man, you gotta kind of look at some things. No shade to Breezy Hall, no shade to Sanaya Fagan, no shade to Raven Johnson, but it's time to make some tweaks, man, because you have players that can definitely do what you need to be done out there. But you got to turn the keys over to Malaysia for Wiley. You gotta turn the keys over to Malaysia for Wiley, straight up. Like, she's come up clutch in big games. She's been an instant spark for you off the bench anytime you put her in. Walking bucket. Like, this team needs some juice. This starting lineup needs some juice added to it. They need an injection, and Malaysia Full Wiley is the answer, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that. Texas is definitely peaking at the right time along with UConn, for sure. Truth be told, Don has been outcoached in all three losses this season. I would agree with that. I would agree with that, which is uncharacteristic, but I would agree with that. Yep, there. Yes, yes, yes. I think Texas will win the SEC regular season title. Yeah, that those three games I went over, like, it's laid out for Texas to go ahead and take it. South Carolina still has a very tough matchup with Kentucky on the horizon. Another team that shoots the three well, that can spread you out, that plays fast, something they struggle with guarding. I like the position UConn is now. I don't want to see anyone picking them as favorites. Hey, Rod, the secret is out the bag. They're not sleeping on UConn no more. The secret is out the bag now. The secret is out the bag. UConn is not sneaking up on anybody no more. But hey, AZ Foot, top of the scouting report. And Paige Beckers, a.k.a. the orchestrator out there. By now, King Swami welcome in. Don should know who to start. Name another top team with that problem. In truth, the blueprint is becoming clear. Pressure the SEC guards in the backcourt. Yup. And pack the paint and turn them into a perimeter shooting team. Limit them to one shot. Limit second chance opportunities. The key. We've seen it 3 times. LSU versus South Carolina for the SEC title. Okay, okay. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at a rematch. I always love when them two teams match up. Y'all know that. But man, maybe that is the case. Y'all might be onto something. Maybe South Carolina has been figured out. And maybe that means change. Gotta change some things. Gotta switch some stuff around. Gotta make some adjustments. But today changed a lot of opinions around women's college hoops. Like, it's more wide open than it's ever been, I feel like. And it's great for the game. It's great for the game. It's wide open right now. It's anybody's for the taking. Yeah, people are not afraid of South Carolina anymore. There's no Asia Wilson. There's no Aaliyah Boston. There's no Camilla Cardosa. And we've seen it. Teams getting to the paint at will, attacking the cup. They're not afraid of Sanaya Fagan. They are not afraid of Sanaya Fagan down there. They're not scared of Sanaya Fagan down there no more. Yeah, man. And that was a game where, man, that game against, she's definitely been mismanaging Malaysia for a while, man. That game against UCLA, where she really could have took over that game for them. And she seems like the only one that wants to take over, man. Like, Malaysia for a while, seems like the only player on this team that feels like, can't nobody in the country guard me. Let's get it. Give me the ball and get the hell out of the way. And that's exactly what sometimes is called for. I don't think any other coach would be managing Malaysia for a while like this. I don't think any other coach would manage Malaysia for a while like this. I agree, Don Staley got to be better. Like, you got so much talent, but it's up to you to put them in position to succeed. It's up to you to bring the best out of this team and help every player reach their max potential. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of South Carolina guards haven't made it in the league. The development, like, bro, Malaysia Fulwali does not need a lead. She's ready to go right now. Right now. She is ready to go right now. Set Malaysia Fulwali free. Yeah, that was diabolical, though. 3 minutes in the UTLA game was insane. Yeah, definitely agree with y'all there. What do you think that LSU needs to do to win the SEC championship? In the tournament, I think they need production. They need steady point guard play. Maybe give Jada Richard a chance because last year Poa, Cheyenne Day Wilson, Miracle Shepherd, like they haven't been getting it done. They need steady point guard play to control those turnovers, limit turnovers, and the supporting cast, man, Samaya Smith, Kaylin Gilbert, Jersey Wolfenbarger, like they need to get more production from their bench and the supporting cast because we already know, we know what Michaela Williams is gonna do. We know what Anissa Morrow is going to do. We know what Flau'jae Johnson is going to do, but what else is the rest of the team going to do? They got to protect the paint better, too, and just take care of the basketball and make perimeter shots. If you're going to play small, you can't be going 3 of 13 or 2 of 15 from 3. You got to make shots. So that's my biggest thing for LSU, man. Making more perimeter shots, taking care of the basketball, defending the paint better, and getting production from the bench and the supporting cast. Agreed. It's a reason why the bench outscores the starting lineup. Because your best five isn't on the court. Like, isn't in the starting lineup. People have been like, oh, the bench is outscoring the starting lineup. Like, this is so unprecedented. It is. There ain't another bench in the country. There ain't another bench in the country outscoring the starters. Like, there ain't another bench in the country outscoring the starters. Your bench is outscoring your starters. Everybody thought this was like a luxury and was celebrating it. No, this is actually a problem. I'm just saying, man. Like, it's up to this staff to put these players in position to succeed. Let me take a look, man. I mean, I think this loss hurts LSU tremendously because this was a very winnable game. They were winning majority of this contest. Like, they should have beat Texas. This was a very winnable game. LSU let one slip. But they still got Kentucky, Alabama, and Ole Miss and Georgia. I think they'll blow Georgia out. That Kentucky game will tell us a lot. Kentucky's a very talented team. Great guard play, great point guard play, good size, good versatility, good depth, and they can really shoot the three. I don't think LSU wants to get into a three-point shooting battle with Kentucky. They need to attack the cup, but that'll be a very, very tough game for them. Alabama's sneaky good too, man. Like, Sarah Barker is the absolute truth. They've got some size. They've got some athleticism. And then Ole Miss usually plays LSU pretty tough. Y'all know Coach Yo is a tough, scrappy group that typically guards very well and holds teams under their season scoring average. They got a good identity. They got a good game plan as far as like just mucking up the game, making it sloppy, making it ugly, and making it closer than a lot of people feel like it should be. So yeah, LSU definitely got their work cut out for them. I think now they're just looking to try to maybe solidify that third seed in the SEC. But Kentucky also, man, Kentucky got LSU and they got South Carolina still on the menu. So, like, Kentucky definitely could make some noise winning both of those games as well. And I'm not counting Kentucky out against South Carolina or LSU. Those two games, Kentucky could definitely make some waves and shake up the SEC. Guys, if this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share. Join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. And follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV as well. A lot of these teams really do have simple adjustments. And it's like, we see it. I don't understand why the coaching staff does it. Like, we obviously see it. I don't know why the coaching staff does it. Thank you, Chris. Much love, man. I appreciate it. I don't know, man. They both got Kentucky. I think Kentucky has a chance in both of these games, man. If South Carolina comes out and plays flat and doesn't guard the basketball, Kentucky has a well-balanced, spread-out offense like Uconn's, where they a lot of dribble handoffs, a lot of space and pace. Same thing that gave them problems with Tennessee. Like, they've had trouble guarding the three-point line against teams that shoot the three a lot, and that are successful. So Kentucky could be a bad matchup for South Carolina. And then on the other end, they have more depth and size than LSU. They have great point guard play, which is something LSU lacks. Like, Kentucky's a really good team, bro. And it's crazy. They're running like a pro system. And Coach Kenny Brooks in year one in the SEC has them not only in the top 10, but, in that hunt for an SEC tournament title potentially. Hey, Javon, you funny, bro. Hey, that's funny. That's hilarious. He said he got the brace. Hey, at least one of Don's teams will be getting a championship this year. Sleepy Mocha, welcome in. I haven't been following women's basketball. I saw the highlights and SC looks tiny. They are used to outpowering and muscling the competition. Yeah, I mean, Sanaya Fagan is the muscle, but it hasn't been going so well. And I think, honestly, man, you got to think about putting Joyce Edwards and Malaysia Wiley in the starting lineup, bro. Like, this team needs some more juice. Why is your leading scorer coming off the bench? Like, it's just, we've been giving South Carolina and Don Staley passes for, like, illogical basketball decisions due to the fact that they be cleaning everybody up and winning titles, and their fan base is a little crazy and they don't tolerate no nonsense about Don Staley. But if any other team had their best player and their leading scorer coming off the bench, we would be looking at them crazy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. If any other team had their leading scorer and their overall best player, and Malaysia Fulwali, I think, is their best player, their most dangerous player, their most unguardable player, and then your leading scorer, Joyce Edwards. If any other team had their two best players coming off the bench, we would be looking at them crazy. But we give Don and South Carolina a pass. But it's just not logical basketball. If any other team was doing that, we would be cooking them. And that's where we're seeing the struggles and the shortcomings. The upperclassmen who were supposed to take those spots Ashley Watkins is out. Chloe Kitts, inconsistent, lacks confidence, it feels like at times. Not aggressive enough. Too passive. Sanaya Fagan, talented, but maybe just hasn't played enough meaningful basketball, man, in this starter role. It's a lot. Yeah, they definitely could solve their issues in the portal. They did it before with Tina Pow Pow. This is absolutely, in my opinion, the most wide open the NCAA has been in years. And it's a great time for women's college hoops because every matchup is going to be must watch. You can't assume anything at this point. You literally can't assume anything. I think they can. I don't think they will sweep UCLA, though. It's tough to beat a team like UCLA twice. South Carolina or USC SoCal did it last year, like they beat UCLA, but this year I don't know about I don't know about twice, man. UCLA is a really really good team, but I will say SoCal dominated them. This was an impressive win in impressive fashion, and I think Juju is just a bad matchup for them, which is crazy because UCLA has so much length and versatility on the wing. Yeah, teams is definitely getting exposed. Javon says Malaysia for Wiley hitting the portal. Yeah, I agree. Adele Tack is, I mean, and they said that against Texas when Oldacre was giving them the business. Like, give Adele Tack a chance. And Dawn Staley says she probably should have given her more minutes in that game. But you're right. We don't know until we know. Like, give her a chance to get out there and be physically imposing. Sanaya Fagan is not the answer. Chloe Kitts hasn't really been the answer defensively. That's why Joyce Edwards and Chloe Kitts were benched in that last game in the fourth quarter against Texas because Dawn Staley didn't feel like they had the size to compete. And now we're seeing it once again. We're seeing it once again. Same issues. Teams have the formula to beat South Carolina, it feels like. We're seeing the same issues we've been seeing. But if any other team had their leading scorer in Joyce Edwards and their overall best player in Malaysia Wiley coming off the bench in any other situation, if you had your two players coming off the bench, we would say that coach was dumb as hell. But we give Don Staley and South Carolina a specific pass because of what they've done in the past. They've been living off those championships. But I mean, there's no reason Malaysia Wiley and Joyce Edwards shouldn't be starting. I know Raven Johnson's beloved. She's a winner. She's a great defender, great rebounder. Gamecock Nation adores her, and she is great. And I love her story, and I love what she's brought to this program. But she's limited. Breezy Hall, another veteran, great defender, can shoot the basketball. She's limited. Has Breezy Hall really genuinely gotten any better since she's been at South Carolina from year one to now? Like, what is she doing now that she wasn't doing before? It seems like Tessa Johnson's confidence shooting the ball is gone out the window. Hey, Javon, appreciate you, bro. Much love. Thank you for tuning in. I feel like LSU's issues are so simple to fix, and this loss will lead them in the right direction. It's possible. I think they need to give the freshmen a chance, though. What's up with these teams just not letting their best players rock out? Like, the point guard position is definitely the major issue with LSU and taking care of the basketball. They brought in a gaggle, a host of guards, and none of them have been the answer. Maybe give the young sister a chance, Jada Richard, to run the team. At least, she's probably, other than Caitlin Gilbert, the best shooter out of all of them. Maybe the most complete point guard, to be honest with you. She's like the only true point guard on this roster, it feels like. Yeah, maybe they go with Jada Richard. LSU definitely has very fixable problems. I would agree with that. South Carolina has fixable problems too. They have the players on their roster, they just not using them. Like Kim Mulkey got to motivate this bench, man. She's got to get more production out of these role players, or they're gonna keep running into this. They're gonna keep running into the same problems. They're going to keep running into the same issues. But I will say it's exciting because this is the most wide open that the women's college basketball has been in a while, man. So I do think that part of it is really exciting. I will say that, man. It's super exciting seeing just all the upsets, the storylines, the players. Like, no team is safe. If we have learned one thing over this weekend, nobody is safe at all. Nobody is safe. I mean, South Carolina has fallen. UCLA has fallen. LSU just dropped a really tough game. Like, nobody is safe, man. Honestly, I think right now I'm rocking with Notre Dame to be the number one team in the country. How y'all feeling, though? Like, bro, it's just so wide open right now. Let me get a poll up for the people. Let me get a poll up. And if this is your first time, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share. Join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Definitely follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV as well, man. Much love to everybody. Who would you pick today to win it all? And they only gave me 4 options, so if you feel like LSU too, I definitely will put them in there as well. But y'all let me know, like, who would you choose right now? And let me catch up in the comments. They see Texas again in 3 weeks for the SEC tournament. LSU usually bounces back against the team. The second time they see them outside of South Carolina. King Swami says Kitts was their best rebounder even when Watkins was there. Right now, SC is getting out rebounded lately by their standards. Yeah, definitely. And those second chance opportunities is what we saw them get a lot of points off of in the past. And Notre Dame is the best team currently. Yeah, I mean, man, I'm rocking out with Hannah Hidalgo, National Player of the Year. I'm rocking out with Sonia Citron, one of the best 3-and-D players in the league, in the country. I'm rocking out with Olivia Miles, one of the best pure point guards, walking triple doubles. Maddie Westbell, Latu King. They got Kate Coball down there, Maddie Westbell. Like, Notre Dame looks like a complete team. They got a good bench. They got good guard play. They got shooters. They got bigs that are versatile that can spread the floor or play down low. They rebound well. They play fast. They defend. They cause turnovers. Like, Notre Dame is something serious. And I've been screaming that they were my national title favorite since the beginning. Okay, so we got 33% for Uconn, 67% for Notre Dame. Okay. And yeah, definitely, man. I only had 4 options. They don't let you do 4. So if you feel like LSU, because I think they're in there too. If I could do 5, I would have put LSU in there. Y'all let me know though. Vote on the poll. But yeah, a lot can change. We just saw UConn go from potential Sweet 16 exit to favorites to win the national championship. One game literally can change everything. One thing can definitely change everything. One day, one game, like we're seeing it, can change everything. We're seeing one game can genuinely change everything. It is wide open right now. And I think it's great for the game. Like, everybody isn't just focused on, like, 1 or 2 teams. Like, it's a lot of teams that can make some noise and be some disruptors in this NCAA tournament. March is going to be everything madness. And man, I tell y'all what, I'm expecting the women's tournament to be way better than the men's, for sure. Without a doubt. Brandon, can you please do a WNBA draft 2027? Juju, please. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. What that? Because that class is gonna be special with Madison Booker, Malaysia for Wiley, Juju, Michaela Williams, Audie Crooks, Talia Scott. Like yeah, that draft is gonna be crazy. That draft is going to be something special. Oh, also USC. USC is another team too, man. I left. I couldn't do my. I would definitely add LSU and USC to that list as well. But I'm expecting a major run out of Juju in the NCAA tournament. I do think, man, they need some more stability at point guard. They're figuring it out though. I really like Kennedy Smith. Kiki Riafan's really good. Raya Marshall, one of the more underrated defensive bigs in the country. But they just need steady point guard play, man. Kaylee Helkel is giving them some solid minutes. I do like the freshman. Kennedy Smith been a really good third fiddle to Kiki as well as Juju. So yeah, I would definitely agree. It's wide open right now, though, man. I love that. It is wide open right now. Okay, Chicago Cheetah says my national title favorites would go in this order: UConn, Notre Dame, Texas, South Carolina, Gamecocks, LSU, USC, UCLA. Okay, and it's crazy that like legitimately all those teams could win the title. When is the last time we saw where it was just like one team wasn't just dominating the competition in women's college hoops? Like all those teams could legitimately win. Yes, yes. I mean, this is anybody's year. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy how wide open the NCAA is right now. Like, I love it for the game, though, because there's so many must-watch teams. There's so many must-watch teams right now. Like, there's so many must-watch teams right now. UConn at 45%. Okay, how much does one game change the trajectory of everything? We were saying UConn was overrated. It was just the Sarah Strong and Paige Becker show. Lazy Floyd needed to step up. Like all this stuff was being said, and they just come out and shock the world, bro. Playing like a Caitlin Clark can be a bad thing. What I mean by this is you shoot it 30 times a game, it can wear a player out. What she did is just is such a rarity. It's not really a championship formula. And I mean, it didn't result in a championship for her in the NCAA either. So I mean, that's fair. But I mean, Iowa had a really good supporting cast too. I think the thing for like USC, like Juju's gonna shoot as many times as she wants to. She has the ultimate green light. But do you have players that are gonna rebound? Do you have players that can make open shots when she's double teamed? Do you have a point guard that can initiate offense and create, an offensive flow to get Juju open? Is the coach gonna call plays specifically for that? Create space to get her in space, like off ball. It's a lot to consider. It's definitely a lot. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. JS, the Fever have signed their backup center, the defensive big. Yes, yes, I saw that. WNBA free agency's been nuts too. Y'all already know. I'm still trying to recover from Caleb McBride leaving the WNBA. I'm just saying. I'm still trying to adjust. Guys, before we get out of here, man, y'all give me y'all's biggest takeaways. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know how y'all are feeling about this whole situation with all the games today, man. Let me know. Give me your hot takes and your biggest takeaways. What were y'all's biggest takeaways from today? Biggest takeaways from today. What we got? What we got? What absolutely just shocked you? Yeah, the AP top five is going to be insane. I'll do a live tomorrow when the AP poll drops as well. I got y'all. I got y'all on a live tomorrow when the new AP poll drops. Definitely got y'all on that. Because there's going to be some shakeups. There's definitely going to be some shakeups in that AP poll for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, I think because for no disrespect, like Molly Davis, like Gabby Marshall, Caitlyn, Kate Martin, like bro, I think they had a really good supporting cast. But Juju's supporting cast is definitely a lot better than Caitlyn, so that is something too to watch. Like yeah, Juju definitely is the type of player that could take over an NCAA tournament. And maybe she needs that, man, because she has not been drawing the views that Caitlin Clark typically does. So this NCAA tournament is definitely a chance for Juju Watkins to become. She's already a household name, but like a national star. Talk, Leon. Talk. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will definitely have more videos dropping throughout tonight with more updates. And we will go live when that new AP poll drops as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the live. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share. Join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. And also follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Much love, everybody. Until next time, we out.